I just watched Woman of the Hour and I'm blown away on how good this movie is. It was released in October and I didn't hear anything about it until I saw a clip on Instagram while scrolling. I've been home for the holiday, so I decided to watch this with my parents and we were all really impressed. This is a true story of a serial killer named Rodney Alcala. It shows a few of his murders and how he crossed paths with Cheryl Bradshaw on a dating show in the 70s. Before this film, I was not aware of Rodney Alcala like I was of Ted Bundy, John Wayne Gacy, and Jeffrey Dahmer, but I feel like I should have been because he seems as horrible as all the rest. Right from the beginning, this movie had me hooked. When it started, I thought it was going to be a bit slow, but I was immediately wrong as it changed tempo very quickly and got right to the storyline. After that, this movie never felt slow and it had my attention the whole entire time. Anna Kendrick also does an amazing job playing the role of Cheryl. She gives the character edge, humor, and spunk, while also portraying the fear of running into the dark side of Rodney. We get to see all the common traits that Anna puts into the characters that she plays, and it bodes really well with this movie. Anna is also the director of this movie, and being the first movie that she's ever directed, I think she killed it. I even read where she donated all of her pay to anti-violence charities because she said this was never a money-making venture to her, so that alone makes me like her and this film even more. I feel like they really nailed the ambiance of the 70s, and so it was pretty fun to watch it with my parents who grew up then. My mom kept making comments on the film as she remembered when all this happened, and she even remembers watching that dating show. My mom would make comments on how the game show looked the exact same, had the same tunes and music, and just mimicked it really well. The last thing I thought was done really well was the emotional connection created between the viewer and the movie. Each time they introduced one of Rodney's victims, I really felt deeply for them right away. The way the actresses played their characters got me emotionally hooked to them and their well-being. And even though he played the serial killer that we don't like, Daniel Savato really nailed that role and bringing that creepy and eerie feeling to the character. He portrayed the charming and swooning attributes so well, while also portraying the dark and stomach-curdling attributes too. Overall, it was a really good job by all the actors and actresses. The only thing I thought that could have been better with this film was the way the timeline went. I paid attention to when the dates came across the screen, but I didn't follow them super closely, so that is probably more on me. But they skipped around and went out of order quite a bit, and so if you don't pay super closely to the dates and the storyline, it does get a little bit confusing. When I did get confused, I pulled out my phone, and that actually helped me follow along quite a bit better. So my only advice while watching this film is to really watch those dates super closely. Overall, I thought this film hit it out of the park. It was attention grabbing, it pulled at the heartstrings, and it just flowed so well from start to finish. It showed the true story of Rodney so well that it made me want to learn more about him and all of his victims. It is so sad and unsettling to read that Rodney had a possible 130 plus victims. If it weren't for Anna Kendrick directing the storyline and visual style, I would have never learned about this horrific time in the 70s. I think this is a must-watch film, and I don't think you'll be disappointed in the end either. Let me know what you think of this film and leave a comment on which movie I should review next. Hey guys, my name is Tyler, and I'm really excited to dive into movie critiques and more. From a romance to comedy to horror, I will watch any kind of movie. So go ahead and subscribe to my channel and get an honest movie review.